Now Ayrshire Radio Podcast presents Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Welcome back to Ayrshire Insights with me, Elliot Boyce, and we are live from Revitalize Fitness Spa's Oakham Day in Kilmarnock, and we've got brilliant guests on today's show for this week's Local Legend Spotlight. We've got Kris, Steven and Steven Freeburn of Revitalize. Guys, a massive thanks for coming on the show today.
No bother at all, mate.
So before you find out about how it all started, you want to know more about you. So first of all, press-ups or pull-ups?
Pull-ups.
Kris, cardio or strength?
Strength.
And then, for both of you, protein shakes or milkshakes?
Milkshake. Protein shakes.
There you go, right. Right, we're going to find out a lot more about Kris and Steven very soon.
You're listening to Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Now Ayrshire Radio.
So, Steven, tell us, whereabouts did you grow up?
A wee village called Patna.
And there we go. And what about yourself, Kris?
Another wee village called Kilmarnock.
There we go. So, both from villages. We've got Kilmarnock and Patna. Now, Steven, tell us about your first job. How did you grow up? Were you always into your fitness? What happened at the start?
When I left school, I had a few jobs that I didn't like, but my first job was French polisher and furniture restoration. And then I was doing other work in meat factories and stuff.
Perfect. And then, Kris, over here. So, where did you grow up in your working career?
So, Kilmarnock originally. Started off in Kilmarnock, then branched out into Kilmarnock, Prestwick, and then I ended up back in Kilmarnock, and then that's obviously when I wanted to move on further in my career.
Brilliant. So you've moved on and went from both being employed to then taking the jump into being self-employed. So Steven, how did you think that journey happened?
I didn't like the jobs I was working in, so I went to college for 3 years and got qualified to become a PT, and then I became self-employed and worked in a gym for 9 years.
Brilliant. And Kris, what about you? Were you always wanting to work for yourself?
Aye, I always wanted to work for myself. I was always into fitness, wanted to always have a gym. That was always the dream. So started off in the gym group in Kilmarnock, and then we branched into other gyms. Me and Steven became business partners, and then we've just got here with it.
So kind of talking about that journey then, so you went from, when you both went into your PT journey together, at what point did you get your first gym and go into business together?
So that would have been eight years ago at the beginning, and me and Kris got into business about 7 years ago when we progressed the first gym onto the second.
There we go. So when you started off your journey, I mean, how do you feel about the expansion from where you've got to now this fantastic facility that we're here in Revitalize Business Park?
The expansion, it's went from small to medium to large. It's grew arms and legs through the years. We always knew what we wanted to achieve through time, and finally we've got here today. So it's went very, very good 2 years.
An amazing journey, and we're going to find out about the big wins. We're going to do that next.
Tune in live every Sunday from 10 a.m. for Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Only on Now Ayrshire Radio.
Now Ayrshire.
Now we've heard about the earlies, now let's talk about the business journey. So Kris, what would you say your first big win's been?
There's been a lot of wins through the years with the gyms, but I would say the first big win was opening the doors to Revitalize.
So actually getting to this point here, just getting to probably the pinnacle of your journey so far,
Aye.
Must be your biggest win, yeah?
Aye.
So over your time then, and going to Steven, so I'm sure there's been plenty of hard days. I mean, I was here yesterday when we were in the gym and the stuff was delayed a day. You had to deal with the challenge of that. You're working to 1 o'clock in the morning just to get the doors open. But what would you say your hardest days been throughout your journey?
Probably making sure we get the planning application to get this building. So we followed all the rules with the council, and it was a wait for about, I think, 6 months to get approved. And we've done everything by the book, following the rules with the council to get the spa open, to get the mezzanine done. So I'd say that's been part of the hardest stuff.
Brilliant. And going through and going outside the gym into everything, what would you say, Kris, from your side? I mean, in business, there's always decisions that have got to be made. What would you say one of your most difficult decisions have been throughout your time?
Probably one of the most difficult decisions we've ever made was just before COVID happened. We were in a smaller gym, and then COVID was just about to happen. We had the chance to go to a bigger one, but we didn't also know how the gyms were going to be going. But I'm glad that we did take that decision to move, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be here today.
Absolutely. And do you know what? It's in some decisions that have to be made can be the difference between success now and business falling flat on its face. Now, going through your time, Steven, as well, proud moments throughout your time. What would you say your most proudest moment has been?
Probably becoming a dad.
Fantastic.
Meeting Chelsea, becoming a dad. They're probably, from a personal point of view, the most. But business-wise, working with Kris and Raj, obviously investing in us, that was a big thing. So a big thanks to Raj Singh and Laura for investing in the business ways.
So you mentioned this, we are in Revitalize just now, and Raj is actually here, and he's looking at it just now. He's not
shy.
I know he's not coming near it though. So tell us about how that works. So I take it, obviously there's a lot of investment required to this. Did you have to look for investors, and then Raj applied for it?
I've known Raj for a long time and worked with him and Jordan, his son, and obviously they've followed our journey through the difficult times. And as things went forward, he's took a leap of faith on us, but I hope he's proud of where we've came.
I know he's looking kind of nervous, and I'm not sure whether he's proud or nervous at the moment. But listen, you go back to mentioning the proudest moment, having a baby, obviously with the Mrs. Chelsea, who now works in here. She helped us earlier on with Bind It Till. Now, talking about that, how do you find balancing the personal life, having a child, and also running a business?
That's like a $1 million question. I mean, Chelsea's brilliant at her job, best I've ever seen, and she loves working here. So I think we just have a gel and a chemistry. And obviously, like when we go home, it's still a bit work.
Yeah,
you don't have a switch off. I think we're always talking about work now more than we've ever done, even at the weekends. Sometimes at 9 at night and 10 at night, we need to say to each other, let's get her by.
Aye, let's move on. So Kris, your side as well. I mean, you're married as well. Do you find, I mean, you go on holiday, how do you find that, especially being a personal trainer and the constant messages? I think I've seen you in social media going, right, everybody, I'm on holiday, I've still got my phone on me, don't worry if you end up going into down there and getting into a takeaway or something, you can give me a phone if you need that, but this is just keep yourself away from it. What do you see? How do you balance the kind of personal training and the constant requirement for you to be that point of contact for people?
I think it's just something you need to kind of deal with to a certain level. Obviously, you'll know and you understand when you need to kind of take a step back slightly. But I would say, for me, like personally, I always want to give. So I would always be there for clients. I'll always be there for people who need me. So that's kind of how I would deal with that.
Absolutely. Now, so talking about challenges in running a business, Steven, what would you say the kind of biggest challenge is in keeping this place going?
Putting up with Ali Kennedy every day. That's pretty much. No, but on a serious note, I think just making sure that we're team as a team. I think we've got 23 personal trainers here, and I think it's so important that we all get on well. We all look after each other. We want to enjoy working 10, 12 hours a day together, because there's nothing worse if you're working with folk that you don't get on with.
No,
and obviously everybody in here, like, to ensure that they're getting better at their jobs. We're all getting better as a team, and we're looking after people and hopefully making a difference. Constant improvements and learning from probably others' mistakes that's maybe happened in the past. Your mistakes get made all the time, but it's about how you rectify them and hopefully improve things in your standards as you're moving forward. Brilliant. Now, we've heard about the listeners' tenner bargain of the week, but next, guys, I'm looking for you to let me know your bargain of the week. Plus, we're going to find out what drives Kris and Steven to give back locally.
Now streaming
Ayrshire Insights, hosted by Elliot Boyce.
This is Now Ayrshire Radio.
Now, we've heard about the early days, we've spoken about the business journey, and now it is time to find out about the links to community charity and Ayrshire Pride. But before we do that, the listeners have been in touch and let us know their weekly bargain. So the question with you, Steven, what is your bargain of the week that you've got for a tenner? I get my first chippy, Joanna's chippy, and it was banging. I have to say, right, Joanna's chippies are friends on our Ayrshire Radio. However, what is going on in here? I've turned up to this gym this morning. There's loads of trays, sandwiches, there's the cakes are humongous that are over there, and now you're having chippies. What is going on here? What is this? Moderation. There's a little moderation this morning. I've actually left here heavier than I walked in. Right, okay. So we've done that now. So Kris, back to you. Why support causes like Now Ayrshire Radio?
We believe supporting our businesses is key. It gets us out there, it gets you out there more. With the feedback we've had through Now Ayrshire Radio, it's been massive. I've spoke to you about the listeners and stuff like that as well. and it's been massive.
Now, it's been great this morning. A lot of people coming in, say they've been listening to the show, they've heard the adverts running through the week, and get them to come here throughout. It's been fantastic. Now, Steven, what would you say your business, how's it giving back locally?
Oh, so all that's run by the manager, Chelsea, my wife, and she's very passionate about giving back to the community and all the sponsorships that we're doing.
Do you know what? Chelsea's here, so we'll get her on. So Chelsea, just talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you have done here at Revitalize to help give back to the local community.
Yeah, so a few months ago we went and done our Raising for Leg Wax charity. So all the male PTs went and done it for mental health, which was an amazing local charity called Release, and Kilmarnock Counselling Station Services. So we luckily went and managed over £1,000 raised for them. We've also just done a local sponsorship for Ayrshire Hospice, so we're hoping to hit over £1,000 for that charity too, and we're going litter picking as well.
So just on that Ayrshire Hospice, right? I don't know who she is, but the girl over there that is selling the raffle tickets this morning, you're not getting an auction. I've been trying to do links on her and she's staring at me going, it's for the hospice. I was like, I'll get it when I come off there. What is it? Give her a shout out, she's scary.
Evelina, she's the scariest PT, but she's great. Don't ask, don't get.
I was going to say, see if you're looking for a PT and you've got any accountability issues, you're not going to have it with her, I'll tell you that. Right, okay, so listen, fantastic to hear all the things that you're doing, giving back. Now, what would you say that the local feeling means to you about the people in the community? How does that impact you at Revitalize? Because the community is part of what your gym community is.
No, absolutely. Wouldn't be anything without the community that we've got. So we're really lucky to be surrounded by what we say is like the fitness family. So everybody that comes through the doors, we always go for that like fitness family feel. But like I say, without them, the gym really wouldn't be anything at all.
Fantastic, Chelsea. Now, regardless of who the co-owners' names are, I can tell you who really runs the show in here.
100%.
Chelsea, a massive thank you for coming on. We're going to find out and speak to Kris and Steven next and do a fun round and find out what is next for them just after this.
This is the Ayrshire Insights podcast with Elliot Boyce.
It is now time for 5 fast ones. So I'm going to ask Steven some questions. Kris is the other side of the gym. He can't hear us just now. And we're going to see if Kris can guess your answers. So the 5 questions I'm going to ask you, don't want you to think about them. Shout out the first answer that comes to your head, Steven, and then we'll get Kris back over and see if he can guess what your answer is, how well your business partner knows you. Right, you ready to play 5 fast ones?
Let's do it.
Right, favourite takeaway?
Chinese.
Song that always lifts your mood?
Simply the best.
Best thing about Ayrshire?
Revitalize gym.
Weirdest moment at work?
I remember asking Chelsea to help get a spot at the squat rack. She wasn't a clue.
And who plays you in a movie of your life?
Alex Ferguson.
Sir Alec Ferguson, there we go. Right, thanks for playing 5 fast ones. We'll be asking our guests to do it every week. Now, I've just given Kris a wave. He is now heading back over to us. So Kris, Steven has just answered the 5 fast questions. Right, okay, so you've got to guess to see if you know what his answers were, right? So, how well you know your business partner. So, question 1, what did he say his favourite takeaway was? What do you think?
Chinese.
Correct, right, okay, so you've got 1 point. A song that always lifts his mood.
Simply the best.
Oh, you really know him well, you're at 2 so far. What do you think he said the best thing about Ayrshire is?
The gym.
The gym, that was right, so you're at 3. The weirdest moment at work?
That's a hard one.
What could it be? Could be anything. I told you. Any idea what he thinks his weirdest moment at work's been?
No.
Nothing at all. There must be some weird. You just don't want to tell us live in the radio, right? Okay. What he did say was Chelsea, and she was spotted. She was gassed by a client to spot somebody. She hadn't a clue what she was doing. That was the weirdest moment he's had. I'm pretty sure there's weirder, just not sure what you can get away with in the radio. And lastly, who do you think he said plays him in a movie of his life?
The guy for Lazy Town.
I can see her. Is it Robbie Rotten?
Robbie
Rotten. I can see the resemblance. He actually said Sir Alec Ferguson, but there we go, Robbie Rotten. Guys, thanks for playing 5 fast ones. We'll be asking our guests every week to get involved. So, Kris, what would you say? What's next for you and your business?
We just want to continue investing in the gym, making it as good a place as possible for the members, for the staff. Hopefully bring in a couple of more PTs, established PTs, and just keep making it as good as a gym we can do.
Perfect. So, Steven, what's one thing that you hope for Ayrshire's future?
Oh, obviously we want to scale the business. We potentially expand in here, or we could potentially franchise.
So another thing, looking at franchising throughout Ayrshire. So guys, throughout your full time, you'd mentioned a few through the interview. Who would you like to see your massive final shouts and thanks to?
Oh, that's obvious. Obviously, we need to we owe everything to Raj Singh and his partner Laura and their family for the help that they've given us. Obviously, to Chelsea coming into the business, working front of house, and just everybody that's collectively involved as a PT and a friend in here. So everybody in general that works here.
Kris, do you want to add on that you would like to? Kris, of course. You two guys, who would you like to see a massive thanks to for helping your business journey?
The exact same. Raj, his partner Laura, my wife for supporting me. Steven, business partner, he actually brought me into business with him, so a massive thanks to him as well. Massive thanks to Chelsea. She's helped us out massively grow the place. A massive thanks to the members, the staff, everybody that's had an input into this business. We're very, very thankful for everybody.
Fantastic. Kris, Steven and Steven Freeburn from Revitalize Fitness and Spa, thanks for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks, Elliot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is the Ayrshire Insights podcast.
Never miss an episode. Hit subscribe now.